at a time, once a week. We are grateful to be sponsored by several software tools sold in our tech shop at creativeconnections.tech. Check it out today and see what new tools we have for your business or creativity. And now, here is your hostess of Creative Connections, putting hashtag art and apps on the map, Stacy Braiuca.
They're here. Hey, it is Thursday again, and this time I actually have a show going. Today's guest, I am so excited, is one of the most delightful finds on the interwebs. Definitely a geek girl, and she lives in the Midwest. So I was walking along the Facebooks one day when I stumbled across a show with an interesting character on the microphone, wearing a Sherlock Holmes hat, sporting an equally Sherlock-style pipe. She was teaching business and productivity in a manner of an adult kindergarten teacher. Just like she was reading us a bedtime story. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time I watched our guest impart her wisdom. Since then, there have been sightings of Yoda at the water cooler. Welcome the ever magical RJ Redden.
Thank you very much. That was fantastic. I'm bringing out the pipe. Yes, I had it within arm's reach. How you doing today, Stacy?
I'm doing great. You are such the queen of the props.
I really am. And hilariously enough, let's say 17 years ago, I was actually a prop master. But that was many moons away. Many moons ago.
Well, you know, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Well, I did happen to marry a woman who had a costume closet. No, not one costume in the closet. An entire closet full of costumes. So, it was a match made in whatever you believe in. Whatever afterlife.
Theatrical heaven.
Exactly.
Even if you're not in theater.
Mm-hmm, yes.
So, how are you doing today?
It is a beautiful day. I'm geeking out about some things, and I'm so happy. You called me about this how long ago? I don't even know. Like a month or so? And I was like, June 15th, that's years away. And then I started geeking out about something a couple of weeks ago, and it was like, I can talk about this on Stacy's show.
and
great!
Hold on to that. We're going to, not yet. But we're not going to tell them that part yet. Mm-hmm.
We're going to be very quiet about it.
Just for a minute.
As long as you need me to.
She's going to keep the pipe in her mouth so that she doesn't. Breathe, RJ. Breathe. Okay. So, first off, one of the things that I do admire about you the most is your presence on your Facebook videos and in your group, is that you are always real. You might be theatrical, but you are so real. You are not ever fakey like some people get when they're on camera.
Yeah.
Or worried that one little word might ruin their presence or their persona. And even though you have your own persona, it is a real one.
Yeah.
And I think people get caught up in, what do they have to show for the camera?
Absolutely, people get caught up in that. And it's interesting. I mean, people kind of come in with all of that. You know, we all learned on regular video, which go polished, go professional, say it right the first time, or else it's going to be real expensive or take a lot of your time because you got to do a million retakes.
And then it has to be perfect.
And it has to be perfect. Here's the thing. Small business owners out there, I know you're listening. That video is never going to get made. Is the only problem with it. Live gets done because you tell your audience you're going on in a half an hour, and I mean, people, you get a lot better as you go along, I think, for sure. But the polished stuff isn't necessary. People respond in lives more to genuineness than they do to polish. That's my experience. It's weird, isn't it?
Which tells me, actually, that's actually the value of live. And somebody asked me recently what the value of live is. Now I can go back and tell him, hey, here's the value of live right here, because it's real. And people respond better to real than genuine than they do polished and perfect.
And they've been watching polished and perfect for years. Hard to impress somebody on something they've been watching a billion times.
Although that brings up a question.
Tell me.
Do you think live, people respond to live because we have been watching things like reality TV recently? Like in the last how many years? I mean, you and I probably both grew up on it wasn't polished and perfect because there were live studio audiences.
Right.
But yet it was, to an extent, polished and perfect also.
Yeah.
And then we had polished and perfect TV for how long? And then we had reality TV, which is probably polished and perfect somewhere in there and is not really real.
Right.
But people think it's real, so like...
It's realer.
And it's almost like this is like the next generation of real.
Yeah.
Is live.
Yeah.
Where, like, it's literally Stacy from Kansas City and RJ from up in Omaha chatting on the live.
I'd never thought about it
things.
as that kind of continuum before, but that makes sense.
It hit me. The continuum really just hit me as we were talking, because it really, I wonder if that, and so then I wonder what's the next generation, if they've grown up on live video, what are they going to expect next?
Right, of course.
They're going to expect of VR probably, or AR and VR,
Yeah.
And that is the next thing.
It is. I mean,
it's
the
gonna be
whole way
weird.
of developing a stardom and then having everybody centrally watch that. The Super Bowl commercials. Well, why were they popular? Well, because there was so many eyes on the Super Bowl, but then cable TV came out, and now the choices, it's a community of choice now. There's not nearly as many eyeballs in one place anymore.
Or some of the first live things we watched of, like, the Desert Storm. Some of that stuff live when it was happening. I think we've definitely acclimated ourselves to live. And I think the other journey that Facebook has given us is, things like your group and the interaction between people who, like, how would you and I have ever met? Even though we don't live far from each other in comparison, I was, like I said, I was walking along the Facebooks one day. I saw Ross Brand pimping your show out, and I'm like, Queen Ninja Guru, that sounds like a fun show. I think I'll watch. And sure enough, and then I followed you, and then, I've was lucky enough to also be in one of the you had like a Zoom meeting or like a private call. So like that was the first time you and I were both on a camera together talking to each other. But, watch, if I get up early enough in the morning, which I don't, I get to watch your productivity and coaching brilliance with the other real awesome gal, Miss Gail. Mm-hmm. I give a shout out to Gail. I love her. And when she's like, I'm going to go be productivity and and go Palm for the afternoon. And I've changed that. Mine's called Palm Trello.
Oh, all right. Very good.
I Palm Trello, which is a combination of the Palm and the Trellos, although I haven't been palming as much as I've been Trelloing, so.
Well, you've been building.
Yeah, but I could actually build more if I palmed while I was Trelloing. Oh, but, so, let's see. Being the geek girls we are, and loving shaving off every second of those 168 hours we each get in a week. Because they won't give us any more.
Bastards, I know.
Can I, another 10 more minutes, Mom?
Something.
No. Mm-mm. Y'all, you get the same as much as I do. Number 45, number 45 even gets he only gets 168. He thinks he can get more, but that's it. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say there, because I don't want to. I don't want to.
Wake up vile hatred. No, not at all.
I don't want to bomb my show. That's Deuce Fraba, everybody. Breathe. Mm-hmm. Okay. Everybody gets 168. We got to make room for more. So you and I, like, when you had your epiphany of, I could talk about this on the show. And I was having a similar epiphany of, oh my gosh, my Automate to Liberate thing could finally come out and be born. Something I talked to my coach, Vicky Fitch, about it a year ago.
Yep.
It didn't have a name a year ago. But it got a name somewhere in the last 3 to 6 months. The name became apparent and more pieces got there. And between your private messages and a challenge I'm in with the Think Creative Collective girls who were on the show a couple weeks ago, also, they were doing a 5 days to launch this week.
That's what I saw.
5 days to launch. You have homework that you have to do every day and write down stuff and turn your homework in, and they're on live video every day answering questions, and they're just fun anyway. Not to mention they live like no more than 30 minutes from me.
Oh, nice.
I had no idea. So they live like just across town. And between your stuff and realizing what you were doing that we're going to talk about, and that Automate to Liberate is born, and you guys are going to hear some more about that at some point. But right now, I want to hear, there's a new technology that's taking the messengers by storm. It's like stormtroopers into the messengers.
It really is.
It's kind of like Do you have a stormtrooper mask?
I don't. I have a Yoda hat and like a small Yoda right here. Would you like me to wear a hat? I can wear a hat.
Well,
I've shown off my colors. I've shown off my colors already. I can wear a hat now.
Messengers, let's see. By storm, the messengers are? Would that be?
By storm, the messengers are taken.
Are taken. Yeah, I had to translate. I'm not really good at Yoda translate, but sometimes I can do it. So I do love me some Yoda. I'm not as geeked out that way as like other people get, but I am a little. There's been hashtags born.
A hashtag is born.
Woo! Miss Lindsay, thank you for the hashtag of borns. Value of live, polished and perfect. And Miss Gail is there saying, hey, love you, girl. And Miss Stacy, because there's 2 Stacys in and amongst your crew.
In my group.
I just got squirreled again. I get squirreled a lot. That's why I have to palm Trello.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So there's a new technology that's taking the messengers by storms. And you have put out a Kickmore bot. Is there one kickmorebot.com?
Kickmorebot.com is the accountabilibot.
Tell us about the accountabilibot.
All right. Well, the story begins. It was a dark and stormy night. Actually, it was kind of raining during the day. I was coaching a client of mine. And she was remarking about how she really liked our sessions. We've also got kind of a document. It's her world domination document that it's a Google Doc, so we both kind of check up. I check up, and she works on it, and I kind of can.
So funny you say world domination, but we'll save that for. Yeah. Oh, it's hilarious.
The world domination doesn't even need to be said sometimes because it's so constant. I know you know what I'm talking about, Stacy. So there we were in a coaching appointment, and she said, it would be nice if I had something that's more kind of a daily thing. And I have something like that. I have like a thing that comes to Slack, and then you click out and you fill out this form, and then you there's a lot to it. And she doesn't really do it because she's only on her phone, and she's a mom. She's got things to do, babies. Don't have time to click through all this other stuff. And so I had fallen in love with Facebook Messenger bots. I was just waiting for an opportunity to use them. And I am not afraid. So I said to her, I shall build you a bot. And I built her a bot. I built her a bot, and then I put her through it. And then I chose some people from my group. I'm like, hey guys, I'm experimentally working on something. Who would like to be my guinea pig? And well,
We're
people
like,
went,
hello? We're guinea pig city.
Yeah. It is out there right now. Kickmorebot.com. If you want to go there,
Show links.
It's so fantastic, darlings. And you get 7 messages. You get a morning and an evening for 7 days. And I teach you in the middle of that about, some self-care stuff, some palming, some, other stuff. I won't mention it all. I don't want to give it away, but
it's the magical stuff from you. It's those little tidbits of wisdom that, like, I can see pieces of it shining in your hair.
It's happening right now.
And they like just happen to people like a couple times a day. And it's right there. What I love is that, and it would be perfect actually for my bestie Morgana, she is like, this is the only thing she uses for her business, because she does not get on her computer very often. So like everything she does for business is on here.
Yep.
And if anybody needs some no, I can't say that. I don't want to diss my girl like that. She could benefit from additional reminders to take care of herself.
Yeah. It's hard, and we're the last people that want to do that. But here's the thing: I can't be everywhere, for all of my people, checking in how they're doing manually.
Yeah.
But I can sure do it through this thing. And then, my brain just exploded because I put it back together, obviously, but my brain, you can still see the little cracks. My brain exploded because there are so many opportunities. Shall we describe what a messenger bot is?
Maybe we should, because I wonder how many people, like, if you're in the chat, and there's a couple people in the chat, or if you're watching this replay, put in the chat, yes, I know what a bot is, or what?
Wow. Well, let's what?
Yeah. If you're listening to this on replay on a podcast and you don't have the benefit of seeing, the color explosion that RJ has in her hair, or the pipe, and such, if you're come over to creativeconnections.com and watch the video, or go ahead and just message us. What?
Wow.
Or you could actually even go to checkoutmybot.com and see what that was the wrong one.
It's okay.
Kickmorebot.com.
Through
Kickmorebot.com, and you can find out what we're really talking about. And you don't even have to go and watch the show. You'll see it right there. Kickmybot.com, BOT.com, not BOTTOM. It's bot, not bottom. It's not kick my bottom. It's kick my bot.
It's kick more.
Kick more bot, not kick more bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Although, with it, you will be able to kick more bottom.
See, this is the double entendre.
You're the queen, double entendre. Actually, you are the queen of triple or quadruple entendre, I believe.
I like an entendre 7-layer cake, is what I like. And when I can make that happen, I just do, because whatever, life's too short.
I think another hashtag could be born. Entendre, 7-layer entendre?
We'll check that out.
Yeah.
I'll be in a bakery near you soon.
That's right. You're accountable and all that.
Yes.
7-layer entendre would have the 7 layers of accountability.
Yes. Interesting.
I knew we were going to create things today.
We are. Okay, let me explain. For those of you who don't know what a bot is. Okay.
Yes, so, Professor.
It's really automated conversation conversation starter in some cases, but it is automated communication through Messenger, through texting, through that you can put a bot into Slack. You can put it into. You can have automatic texting. You can build a bot for anything. Mm-hmm. The reason that Facebook excites me is a lot of people use Facebook for marketing. Billion people
Billions on Messenger.
Messenger. I mean, come on. That and Facebook has put the kiss of Zuckerberg approval on this thing. They want it to work. Yeah, baby.
The seal.
Yeah, and a little tiny baby was born with a hoodie and some flip-flops. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. The kiss of approval is there. That excites me. And I just have been discovering this today. So, bots and Facebook ads work together.
Oh yeah, babe.
And and that's why I think that Zuckerberg has put the kiss of approval on it.
Oh, sure. They have to make sure they're going to get something out of it.
Yeah, maybe. But it's such a better way to communicate, and it's so much better.
Well, and, it pops up in people's Messenger feed, which some people say, I don't want all that mess in my Messenger feed all the time. But the beauties, I think, some of the beauties of it are, one, Facebook has built in their policies some things about spam to avoid spam. So when you're building a bot, you have certain responsibilities to make sure that whoever you're communicating to has the opportunity to stop that communication at any time. And so it's kind of like, hey, you signed up for this, but if you ever want to stop, just hit stop. And, but then what I really, really love, beyond just sending a message, because you can send an email all day long to people, and yes, it has links in it. I know. And writing them just terrifies me. That's a whole nother show. Writing them terrifies me, but what I love about the difference of writing an email that has links in it, that yes, they can click and go out of where they're at and whatever, you can actually embed and put more interactive information. It's like choose your own story. So you've got choose your own RJ. Hashtag choose your own RJ.
That's going up.
Lindsay, we're keeping you busy today, girl. I noticed she puts Kiss of Zuckerberg as one.
Okay, so I will go right ahead. I'm so excited about this because just as Stacy was talking about, email ain't dead, but email is where you go for work. Like Messenger is where you go to talk to people you like, get information you like. I had Stacy Spenceley. She was one of my guinea pigs. She tried it out. Her first message to me was, OMG, I love this so much. And her second message to me was, it's like an opt-in I actually want to read.
Yes.
Okay, if you have your own biz right now, if you've got a product or a service that you are trying to get out there right now, what if you sent out opt-ins people wanted to read? What would your life look like? This is it. Like, my click-through rate on any email that I send out is less than 1%. My open rate is about 20%. Those are actually good stats.
Those are, yeah.
And I've almost never turned anything over.
And even if you're not a hardcore, in a hardcore business, something, anybody who, why spend the time putting together an email to send out or whatever if people aren't going to read it? Let's say even a family newsletter or a whatever done via bot instead of via an email. People might actually have fun with it because you can put a little video snippet in it. It's like, click here to see the video. Boom, it pops up. It is interactive. You can put keywords. So if somebody says rainbow hair, you could say, why, yes, right here.
Thank you very much.
If somebody says,
in my bot.
if somebody says Yoda, something specific could come up. You know, maybe a video of said master. I'm not doing good at translating Yoda at the moment.
It's okay. It's all right. No worries.
I'm just not as, yeah. So Kickmorebot, the how did you say it? Accountabilibot. Accountabilibot. And Stacy fell in love with it, among others. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they actually want to read it. And it is available to anybody who wants it or is listening right now. In fact, I think you might get a notification if somebody joined.
I do get notifications. And in fact, I have them up over here on the screen.
If anybody's listening and might want to join kickmorebot.com, all you do is go to kickmorebot.com and then join in, and you would know.
And you're right there.
So it's, even though it's automated and you're sending messages to someone maybe while you're sleeping, that doesn't mean that you're not going to join back in the conversation, which I think that's an important thing to bring up about bots, because people are like, oh, well, that's, or automation. You're just going to automate everything, and then you're not going to have that human, it's not going to have the human touch. My argument is so different. Mm-hmm. The social worker says to the tech girl one day, tech girl says, we need bots. Social worker says, but it's not, we need the human connection. Tech girl says, we have bots so that we have time for the human connection. The social worker says, hell yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's how that goes. Yes, you put a bot in place to do the things, to give people the things like FAQs about your business. When are your business hours? What day do you have cinnamon rolls? What do you want to see my video for Sherlock Holmes? Yeah. You put all that in place so that then you can spend time with them doing what we're doing. Hanging out.
And let me just add this, and this is all being covered. I am doing a workshop 1 week from today. It is a live event. It's gonna be on Zoom. It's gonna be so super fabulous. I invite everyone.
And does Miss
You held up a finger.
I did.
Mm-hmm. Did you want me to stop?
No. That was a 1. It was a 1 week. Sorry.
1 week. Oh, okay.
1 week.
I was
no,
like,
it wasn't a whole.
Not later, don't you?
No.
Okay. So in 1 week.
In 1 week.
The 22nd of June, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Do your own math, because I'm not great at math. It's going to be a 45-minute workshop. It is going to be, what are these bots? How do they work? Would this be good for my business? Is this something? It's basically on the line of, should I care about these for my business? Mm-hmm. Or is this just, going to be another fad? Or is it not appropriate?
Less than an hour, you can find out, is it good, bad, or ugly?
You can find out for free. I will teach you. And
name that tune.
Name that tune. As a special gift to all of your listeners right now, I'm watching my screen. Every time I get a subscriber for the rest of this cast, I'm dancing.
What?
I've got a blue tutu on.
Who wants to see the dance?
I'm not afraid to use this bad boy.
Who wants to see the dance?
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing to see me dance. So I'm refreshing the screen. If I get subscribers during this cast.
Now, that subscribers are for the Kickmorebot? Or is that for...
You know what? I'm going to say either one.
Oh. Now, okay, so for the thing next week, mm-hmm. They need to go where?
They need to go to... I have it written down. And I lost it. The one that goes to the registration, it's not Kickmorebot, it's Look at My Bot.
Look at My Bot.
Sorry. Check out my bot. I have it written down.
That's the one I
have it written down.
That's what I accidentally said earlier.
Let's check out my bot.
Oh, I love that. That's an awesome, graphical representation.
It's so old school. Checkoutmybot.com. I get a subscriber, I'm dancing for you right here on the show. I don't do this often.
No.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be everything you need to know. That'll be all the little details. You know, what's the best software for it? If you're going to do this thing, what's the easiest software to learn on? I did research on that. You know I did. Is it going to be right for your business? What could you use more of in your business? How does this whole thing feel? Because I don't have a landing page as registration for this workshop. I have a bot. So it takes you through the process while you're signing up for the thing.
So you have a bot signing people up to learn about bots?
I do.
That's kind of meta.
It came to me in a dream.
That's like so meta.
It's so meta.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It's a counter to the argument that this is an automated is going to be alienating for your people, because I'm asking questions in the bot. What's the product or service you're selling right now?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what do you want to learn about bots? And one other surprise question. I'm going to take that information from everybody who signs up, and I'm going to make it a workshop that is personalized to the people who are in attendance.
Okay, so like the researcher in me just got like all tingly.
I know.
Because I saw this spreadsheet of data that comes in from the bot.
Mm-hmm.
And then the qualitative researcher was like, ooh, we could see what themes are coming through.
And so I'm going to have a much more personalized, targeted, baby, this is worth your time workshop that you're going to walk away with more from because you had a bot in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. You were able to shave off time, use the bot to automate things, to liberate your time, so that you could focus on the human-to-human thing.
Oh my God.
I mean, the only thing we can't do is like reach out and actually like touch each other. We could try.
Google will make it happen soon. Don't worry about it.
It's going to happen. AR and VR, we're going to be able to do that, and we'll like have gloves on or something that you'll be able to actually feel somebody, you know. I don't know that I'd want to do that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
There's some strange thinking on some of those. I don't know. But if we have people, like, so if you're listening or watching, and I can only see people who are listening in this one particular screen. I can't see because this is going to all of my other pages. So I can't see everybody. If you're listening and you can hear the sound of our voice, go to checkoutmybot.com and we get to see RJ dance. I want to see her dance in the blue tutu. So we're going to turn this into like a telethon. Who's going to be our next person so that we can see RJ dance in the tutu with her pipe?
Oh my God.
Maybe we need some magic. Do you have any magic? Do you have any magic hanging around?
I have this. It's Harry Potter's wand. I too have been to Universal Studios, and I only take this out on special occasions, but I took this out for your show because making the magic happen.
Some magic.
We're making the magic happen. That's what we're doing. So, you know.
We're birthing hashtags right and left.
Well, of course. Darling.
But
the creativity is flowing.
Oh, Gail's been resubscribing, and it's probably not working to get a dance out of you that way. Is anybody else?
No. Gail, darling, your seat is saved. Your seat is saved.
She probably had one of the first seats saved.
Yeah.
I would hope. You know, because, like, actually, we could even have Gail come in on the show. I could send her the link to here, and she could jump into Creative Connections with us.
She could. Well, you clear it with her first. She's got little people at home.
Yeah.
At the moment.
So does Lindsay. So that's why she's kind of in the background. And I like having people. I used to be the background person. How did I end up in front of the camera?
Live streaming. It was Blab, wasn't it?
It was Blab. It was definitely Blab. Blab was so magical. And
This bots are more magical than Blab. Shh. Don't tell anyone I said that.
that's almost blasphemy.
It is almost blasphemy.
Almost, but not quite.
It is more engaging in a different way, but it is...
In a different way. Could you imagine Blab with bots? That would be... There you go. Hashtag Blab with bots. Anybody out there who does website building, or if Kiki Shear's got WeKiki going. So there is a Blab-like sibling, actually it'd be more like a offspring. Yeah. A Blab offspring is out there called WeKiki. If she added somehow a bot component, we'd have Blab with bots. And we could have the magic of Blab back, but also with like the superpower of bots.
I know. Well, and here's the thing is that Blabby was so beautiful. I met some of the people that I'm so pleased to call friends today.
Oh, me too.
Met my coach there. It was insanely good for me. And somebody snapped their fingers and died. This will and shall not happen with Facebook.
The world they were worried about world domination by all the blabbers.
Right.
It had to be. Because, Gail met you there. You probably met Ross Brand there.
Yeah.
I met Ross Brand there. I follow Ross Brand over here, and then I met you. So as the world blabs around, we still, come up with each other. Lindsay Badger Badger and Clan. Yeah, thanks, Sean. Lindsay Badger and Clan were able to come to Kansas City a couple weeks ago, and I was able to meet her in person. To be able to meet my first blabber in person was so cool. And the fun thing is it wasn't really like we were meeting each other for the first time. It was like we hadn't seen each other in a while in person. Although it was really cool to be able to give each other hugs. So when are you coming to Kansas City?
I'll have to check with the wifey, see what's happening. Yes. Yes, that could be fun.
Or next time my husband goes up to Omaha for a model car show, if he'll let me get it, they have boy trips.
Oh.
And it's not like I necessarily want to go to the model car show, although I like them, but I understand that that's their thing. And I don't want to get into their thing. That's okay. I just want to ride in the car and come up and he can drop me off and, I can just hang out and meet my Omaha friends.
Yeah.
It was not awkward at all. That's totally, Lindsay, you are on it today. Hashtag city. And then there's somebody else watching. So I know Gail's there. I know Lindsay's there. There's somebody else lurking in the background. If you're lurking, give us a wave and say, hey, so that we know you're there. Because, it's all about, who's watching and what do you want? As a matter of fact, anybody who's watching, even if you're whatever, what would you want in a bot? What would you want a Facebook Messenger bot to do? Hi, Dwayne Stifle. I don't know if I know. Is Dwayne a water cooler follower?
Yes, I believe.
Ty. Hey, Ty. Ty's my cousin's cousin.
Hello.
Her family makes the most amazing egg rolls. Oh, God. They're Samoan egg rolls. They're fatties. And they're filled with real, protein and vegetables.
Excellent.
And they sell them for a fundraiser for their family reunion. I go and buy 20 of them and put them in the freezer.
Yeah.
Because they reheat so well. Oh my God, they're yummy. So, if there could be a bot that made... if we could make a bot that made your egg rolls, that would be so awesome. Because then, I could have egg rolls for lunch every day. What else would you guys that are watching, what would you want a bot to do? So you have the accountability bot.
Yep.
That helps keep you accountable to your goals and your plan and what you're working on. So it's great for coaches to use, something for coaches to use, and specifically you're using to personalize your experience which is counterintuitive. You're using an automated bot to personalize your experience with your coaching clients, but that's brilliant. It makes total sense, but people wouldn't think of it off the get.
Right.
Which is another reason I love you. You think outside of the box with the tech. You don't just stick in the, well, it's a bot, it's just for this. No.
No, it can be used for so many things. It can be used for onboarding. It can be used to qualify people. It could be used to, hey, you're my person. Which one of these things would you like to opt into so you can just get the information you want? Like, when's the last time you tried to do that with a damn email list? It's so complicated. MailChimp, ConvertKit, are you listening? Because
get a response.
Trying to put one person into a flow and then into this flow and not knowing anywhere if these are going to conflict. And then having them conflict. And
they can put themselves in whatever flow they want in the bot. Lindsay says child management bot. And I actually am thinking that could be a good thing.
I know Stacy Spenceley is listening.
Stacy Spenceley needs to, yes. And Gail and Lindsay and Stacy Spenceley, we need to like have an off-camera, or, well, an appear-in chat in another room or sometime about what that child management bot will do. And maybe like Gail or Stacy could build it after they, there's some classes coming up with both of us on building bots. And I actually am going to have a package that people can buy that I will help them build their bot, or I will help them go through the process of what do you need a bot for, and let's do it. Child management bot, because kids also have tablets frequently anymore. And I mean, one of the things I like about the tablets that they have now for kids is that there are parental controls on them so that they can control the amount of time that the kid has on it, but also control what they're watching and what they're doing, all that good stuff. What if you could build a bot that would be a messenger somehow to that child's tablet that they interact with, and they choose their own chores for the day, or they choose their path and their story to keep them kind of accountable to the parents. It's like accountability bot for kids.
That would be interesting. That's sort of, it reminds me of something. Do you know the guy that does the Getting Things Done? Do you know this guy?
I've seen it.
So I listened to a great big thing with him once. It was some podcast, some series of tapes of one of his conventions. Anyway, he talked about the fact that he and his wife run that company together. They're the two people that wear the 17 hats, right? And they don't have very much time together because he's on the road a lot doing these speaking engagements, whatever. So he was asked, how do you manage that? And he said that what they did was a whole lot of automated communication, because reminders and scheduling and all of this kind of stuff, you do it the same way every time. Well, with human beings, that's kind of difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
Because we're a little organic anyway. With a bot, totally do it. And then that leaves all of that time that they would have spent haggling about, no, take this flight on this day. No, I can't do that because of this. You open that up for, let's have some Ben and Jerry's and kick back, honey. You know what I mean?
Or Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
Whatever whatever chill But that's things like shared communication options. Things like one of my favorite Trello boards for collaboration. And you have something like that attached with a bot with whatever. But I'm thinking a Trello board with like kids' chores attached to a bot.
Yep.
Also, where they choose, in their messenger bot, they send mom a message. And the bot mom says whatever, and then the kid answers whatever, and they get it would almost take away the putting the parent in the Punisher role.
Right.
And like, if the kid's not doing their chore, the tablet shuts down for a certain amount of time until the parent can turn it back on when the chore's done. Like, so it's a bot that controls, so it's not just a bot that controls the total amount of time, but it actually turns off until they get the chore done, that they're, like, it gives them a chore after they've been playing on their whatever for 15 minutes. It gives them a chore, and it has a countdown. Your tablet will self-destruct in 10 seconds. 9, 8, with some little fun whatever, some fun GIF that shows them it's going to shut down, and that as soon as you do this chore, your tablet will turn back on. And you'll get 10 more bonus points and gamify it, where they get more time if they get it done in a certain amount of time. And if it's all automated, so the parent doesn't have to worry about those pieces. And I'm speaking from a perspective of being a parent of 2 four-leggeds. That'd be a whole different bot. I don't know if that would work. So I can't come from the perspective of being a parenting guru of any kind.
Right.
Just from the observations of nieces and nephews and, friends' children and all that. And the fun technology that's out there. The kids are going to the kids are going to interact with the technology. Like,
yeah, they are.
And it might depersonalize the, it's kind of like you take away, separate the behavior from the punishment, or the behavior from the person. When you're punishing, it's, I don't like what you're doing. I still love you, but I don't like what you're doing. It's almost another way to separate that out again. So that the punishment is, punishment goes because of your behavior, not because mom doesn't love you. Because the punishment came from the tablet instead of the mom. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm just like barfing out ideas there. So every time you comment, you get PM'd, Dwayne. What happens there? Every time you comment on the show here, you get a private message? It was getting deep, Lindsay Badger. You know how I am. That's kind of how I roll. Sometimes the squirrels go deep with this one.
Yes.
But that way, this is on video for posterity. We can, mull this over. And then those who are parents, kick in your ideas, because I think there's people who could build said bots. And you wouldn't have to be a programmer.
Right.
You don't even, that's one thing about bots. You have geeky background in, coding and programming stuff. Am I right?
I don't code. I take other people's code and make it do my will.
But you have knowledge of code.
Yeah.
You have the knowledge of the code. You have the force of the code.
I do.
And I have the force of the code. Until it gets weird wonky on me like it did the other day. I had code that I couldn't find the bug. So I said forget it and went to something else.
Right.
New squirrel. So you have the power of the code. But you don't have to have the power of the code to build a bot. What do you think about that? I think that makes bots accessible to Joe and Joe Blow, down the street.
It makes bots very accessible. I mean, and that's what they're definitely aiming to do. For me, I wanted to design something that people would get value out of right away and that would start feeding me information right away. I think that there are some times when people say, that sounds hot, but they still need somebody to kind of maybe sit down with them and go, what exactly do you want to do with this? Here's my problem. I know the codes. I know the things. I know I can muck around back there. But because I can muck around back there, I can see all the possibilities. And because I can see all the possibilities, then I try to build all the things. I need one thing. So getting some clarity on what you want to build and why you want to build it, and the results you want to get before you go and start. Because absolutely cool, you totally can. And if you want to, if you want to on your own, go right ahead. For me, I want to sit down with people. I want to know why you want to build about. What are you looking for? What the return is, because then I can use all of my knowledge as to the 80 things we can do and the 80 ways we can do it, and do it in the best way that's going to fit what you got going on.
Yep.
Your answer is it's totally accessible. That's totally why they built it the way that they did. ManyChat, anyway. There's some others out there that are just...
So, ManyChat's the one that I have looked at so far, although I've been intrigued by some of the things Chatfuel does.
It does some different things, but it also does some things that are just like, really? Why are we doing this? What is happening now?
Okay.
Those are the two biggies in the field right now, and then there are some up and comings as well that I took a look at.
And actually, one of the things that in my Automate to Liberate program, there are going to be cheat sheets and lists of all of the current automations, not just bots, but automations. And that's why I'm focusing on automations as a whole, not just the bots. But automations is kind of what I enjoy doing. And it's almost like you said, you take what somebody wants, tell me what you want, and then I'm going to help you find the tools to do it. Yeah. And if I can't find them, I have this friend of mine, we're going to call RJ, and she's going to know different ones than I do, and maybe. True. And the magic will happen. We'll put the swords together or the Wonder Twin rings together and go, here's the bot. Base or hand
fist pound.
Yeah. I haven't been doing therapy with my juniors for a long while. When you do therapy with juveniles, you learn all of the current things, and I've been out of the loop. I don't know. It's getting old, or I'm getting old, or something. So, I have thoroughly enjoyed hanging out with you, which surprises me not.
Surprises me not.
I am kind of upset we didn't get to see you dance. So, nobody has... though, it might be that you dance later and put up a little GIF of it, after the show. If you do that, we'll put a GIF up into the... So, people could still... Next week... 7 p.m. Central.
7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Check out MyBot.
Check out mybot.com and get 45 minutes at least worth of gold.
Golden. It will all be golden.
Golden rainbows.
Yes.
Kind of leprechaunish.
I could include a leprechaun.
Yeah, leprechauns, rainbows, gold, pot of gold. The pot of gold that you get to by doing the rainbow bot.
Yeah, maybe I'll send you a box of Lucky Charms. I don't know. But you'll have to be there.
Lucky Charms. Yeah. Well, and you could do a scavenger hunt by bot.
Could do
where you find the little Lucky Charms along the way.
Nice.
It's endless. It's truly endless.
It is.
And if you've enjoyed what we've been doing today, just the banter and the ideas and that kind of thing happens all the time. And the water cooler is, can you tell people when the water cooler happens and what it is?
Yes, it happens in the mornings. And that is why Facebook created a replay. I know some people do not get up in the morning. That is totally cool. But what we had in mind when we created that was a big breath of fresh air for your timeline. A lot of times things get a little mucked up around Facebooky land. People take vacations from Facebook. That's all totally fine. Mm-hmm. We wanted a piece of lightness. And also, solopreneurs don't get on much. There's no water cooler to go to. No, we actually do have a water cooler in this house, but pretty much my dog will meet me there, but no one else will meet me there. So for solopreneurs, it's a place to go to hang with other solopreneurs as you start your day, set your goals, get accountable, get some things to think about, some food for thought, and then move on with your day and kick some ass. So that's what it's about.
And I love, because it's you and Gail, but there's a very interactive audience. Yeah. In the water cooler at any given moment. You never know who's going to be at the water cooler, what they're going to be talking about, what kind of fun they're going to be having. You just have no clue. Yeah. And then you have a group, Facebook group.
Facebook group, Stop Dreaming and Start Doing. It is a Facebook group filled with dream chasers. Listen, if you've got a dream of writing a book, launching a course, starting a business, leaving your 9-to-5, whatever it is, whatever that dream you've been sitting on is, I can help you get to the other side. Come join the free Facebook group. Stop Dreaming and Start Doing. It's fantastic.
Look in the show notes because that one's in there already. That one's going to be in the show notes. The show notes will be under this video in Facebook Live or in Facebook Land. You can even sign up to be on Creative Connections, and the link for that will be in the show notes. You can sign up to be on the show. I would love to have anybody from your crew, Stacy, Gail, hint, hint. I'd love to have any of you guys over onto the show so that we can highlight what you're doing. I have truly loved highlighting your kickmorebot.com. Accountability bot so that you can stop dreaming and start doing. Yeah. You know, you can actually take those dreams and start seeing them in fruition, because that doesn't keep them from being dreams. They don't lose their shine and prettiness when you start doing. They actually get shinier. It's almost like rubbing on something and they get shinier. It's like buffing them up, So once you start doing things, it gets shinier and shinier. It's really cool. And I know that what you do helps people shine themselves up.
Yes, it is my mission.
You must be shiny. So then we also have 1 week from today, check out mybot.com. That is going to be worth 500 water cooler. Well, it's not even a water cooler. It's actually going to be just flat out learning gold. Water cooler's the fun part. The check out my bot is going to be some significant gold, and I plan to be there. As a matter of fact, I have already signed up. So, and I'll watch for you to maybe be dancing later in a GIF or something. Maybe we can sign up for that so that we can see RJ dance in the show notes. Where else can people find you, and what else would you like them to take away from the Wisdom Queen Ninja?
Well, my darlings, gentle listeners, and even listeners who are not so gentle, take this away. If there were a button that you could hit where you could have real communication with people who want to communicate with you, if you could lower the bar of entry for that sort of thing and get people to open and respond to you, if that's something you've ever wanted, if you ever have found yourself in business or pushing a product or a service, if you've ever felt yourself answering a question 500 times, if you've ever taught a lesson for something and you're like, I have done this so often that we could probably just push play somewhere, all of that screams for bots. So check out mybot.com. Let's get this rolling. Let's get moving on this. Stacy is in, so it's cool. And that's all. Go out there and make today your bitch now.
Love making today my bitch. I appreciate you more than you believe in so many ways. I'm so glad I was wandering along the Facebooks that day. And it wasn't even the month of May. Wandered.
Thank you for participating in our podcast today. You can find Stacy at Stacy Braiuca on any social media channels. Support us with your purchases in our tech shop, CRE number 8 TIV Connections.tech. Music courtesy of Enneagram Records, Scotty McBee, Upper Deck Studios, and Scott McBee. We appreciate their creativity, originality, and sponsorship of the show. Find the intro song Brooklyn in 59 in iTunes using the link in our show notes below. Our podcast website is CRE8TIVconnections.com. Thank you from Creative Connections, bringing creatives and geeks together all over the planet, one tiny podcast at a time. If you are listening on your favorite podcast website, come by and check out our previous episodes on our websites. See you next week at 2 p.m. Central for the next Creative Connections.